to my channel. My name is Gabby, and today we are going to be talking about the books that I acquired in mostly May and 4 in April. So in the month of May I had my birthday, so I got a lot of gift cards and I got a few books that like people actually gifted me, but I got a lot of gift cards to Barnes & Nobles and money, and I thought what better way to spend it than to get books. I also went on my birthday to Barnes & Nobles and I think I ended up purchasing like 13 books at once. I went a little crazy. But I wanted to show you all of the books that I got and kind of haul them. So I'm gonna start with the pre-orders, and these were all pre-orders for April, so they're the only books that I got in April. So yeah, we're gonna start with that. So the first book is The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the third book in the From Blood and Ash series, and I've already read it. As you can see, I tabbed it. Yes, this is one of my most anticipated releases and I was so happy to get this. I ended up pre-ordering it. The next pre-order that I ordered was House of Hollows by Crystal Sutherland. This is an interesting book. So I believe this is like very fairytale-esque, dark, foresty, kind of enchanted tale kind of a story. I could be completely wrong, but that is what I'm getting from, and I'm very excited to read this. I love like the foresty kind of aesthetic and kind of creepy dark fairy tales, so I'm really excited to get to this one. Then I had pre-ordered Witches Steeped in Gold by Cian Smart. This is a Jamaican inspired fantasy. I feel like I've talked about this before. It is in my most anticipated releases for spring, so if you want more details, go there. But I know that it is a Jamaican inspired fantasy and that I believe it has like female romance in it, I believe. And that's kind of all I know, and that's kind of all I need to know. The last book is Victories Greater Than Death by Charlie Jane Anders. This is an sci-fi story, and yeah, but this sounds, ooh, that's so pretty. This sounds really good. I'm super excited. It's so short. It's so like tiny, and I was not expecting it to be so tiny. But also, look at these end papers. Like, that is gorgeous. First 3 books are The Witching Hour, Lasher, and Taltos by Anne Rice. So my mom, when she was younger, I think when she was like my age, she had read The Witching Hour and Lasher and Taltos. Absolutely loved it when she was younger, and we decided that we were going to read them together. So I ordered The Witching Hour, Lasher, and Taltos. I'm interested to see how big this book is going to get when I annotate it, because I really want to annotate this series, because there's going to be a video of me and my mom like talking about the series and, you know, our thoughts and things. So yeah, look forward to that video. Okay, so the next book that I have is Oathtaker by Audrey Gray. This is an indie novel. The cover is very pretty. Second off, I know that this is a fantasy. I believe it is a new adult fantasy romance, and that's kind of all I know about it. I, for the longest time on, I believe, like Facebook and like Instagram, like the Instagram ads, kept seeing artwork of this guy with white hair standing next to this girl with pink hair dressed like this, and I was like, I need to know their story. And I kept clicking on it, and every time that I would click on it, I'd be like, oh, okay, so that's what it is, but I would never save it to my wish list. And I finally saved it to my wish list a little while ago, and then when I had my gift cards, I ended up ordering. Next is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Tailor. This is the second book to the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. This is the second book that I've been wanting to read, and now I have it, and I'm probably gonna have to read the first one again, or at least read some sort of synopsis for it, because I remember some of it, but not all of it. Okay, so next, All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This is a mermaid pirate story, and that's really all I needed to know. I remember some people liked it, some people didn't like it, but I really want to read this for myself, and yeah. So the next book is a new release that came out in April, but I ended up buying it in May, and that is The Infinity Quartz by Kemi Bowman. I was so excited for this book. I still am very excited for this book. She is graduating from, I believe, high school, and right when she's about to go out to celebrate her graduation, she ends up dying and goes to the afterlife, or I believe what she believes is the afterlife, and she finds out that it's actually being run by some AI, and they have to figure out like what is happening. I believe. I could be completely off base with that, but that is what I think this is about. I'm so excited to read this. I absolutely love this cover. The book that we have is Fable by Adrienne Young. This is another pirate book. It is about a girl whose father is in the pirate like league or something, and I believe he ends up going missing and she has to go find him, but she ends up having to go on the ship or somebody else's ship, and then there's a romance, and it's a pirate book. That's really all I needed to know. The sequel is already out. And yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Yes, I really like this cover too. I absolutely love the fact, I don't normally like, oh, there's a pirate ship in her eye. I love it even more. Okay, so the next book that I have is another book that I ended up adding this to my June TBR because Maeve from Superior Hijabi ended up messaging me on YouTube and asked if I wanted to do some sort of collab video with her, and of course, like, why not? And what we decided to do was we are going to do a buddy read, and we are going to be buddy reading Addie LaRue, or The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. That video should be going up sometime in June. I have not started reading it. We're supposed to start reading it in June, and I am super, super excited to do that. I've never had a buddy read, never done a collab video, never done anything like that, so I'm super excited. I'm very excited to see what my thoughts are, and obviously there will be a vlog about it, so look forward to that. So the next book that I have is Where Dreams Descend by Daniela Angeles. This was one of my most anticipated releases from last year, and I just hadn't gotten around to picking it up yet, or like purchasing it. The biggest reason that I wanted to read this is because I absolutely love Caraval, and Caraval is about like sort of like a traveling circus or performance or something like that. Yeah, stuff like that. And this is also about a circus of sorts. And really that's all I know. The next book is a new release that came out in May, or the next two books are new releases that came out in May, but that first one is Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. This is on my June TBR. I'm very excited to read this. I am hoping to do a vlog on it, so again, look out for that. I've heard it's very like Lord of the Rings thing. Ooh, look at this map at the front of this book. Look at it. It's so pretty. But yes, so I'm very excited to read this, and hopefully we will see my vlog in June. So then the second new release for May that I ended up getting was Blade of Secrets by Trisha Levinseller. Trisha Levinseller is the author of the Daughter of the Pirate King duology, which I absolutely loved. She's also the author of, I believe it's Breath of the Wild. No, not Breath. I'm thinking about Zelda. Not Breath of the Wild. It's something very similar to that, and I think something else. I haven't read the Breath of the Wild one yet, but I did absolutely love the duology, and the like concept of this sounded really good. It's also very short, and it's also a standalone. Wait, maybe it's not a standalone. I'm confused. I thought this was a standalone. Maybe it's not. It like sounds really good, but it also has mental health rep for social anxiety. Last fantasy novel is The Shadows Between Us, also by Trisha Levinseller. That's what it was. She also wrote this one. So this is a like Slytherin love story. That's the way that I've seen it pitched. It basically follows our main character Alessandra, and Alessandra's goal is to, three things on her list is to woo the Shadow King, marry him, marry him, and then kill him and take his kingdom for herself. But yes, I'm very excited to read this. I am reading this in June. I am planning a fantasy romance vlog in June that should be going up in June. So this will be one of the books that I read, but yes, I'm very excited to read this. So the next books are all contemporary books. I know, shocking, there's actually a stack of them. First one that I got was Summer Days and Summer Nights, 12 love stories edited by Stephanie Perkins and written by all of these fantastic authors. There's Lee Bardugo, Francesca Zappia, I believe is one of them. Maybe, I don't know, Cassandra Clare is one, Libba Bray is one, Nina LaCour, Stephanie Perkins, Veronica Roth, Jennifer E. Smith. There's a bunch of YA, well-known YA authors who came together to write a summary anthology. I'm really excited to read this. The next book that I got was Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. This is a new adult romance book. What is it? Books with Chloe read it, really loved it. So I'm excited to read it. I'm excited to see what my thoughts are. And yeah. There's a book section in the dollar store, and I normally just glance at it, look at it, and like if I don't see anything that pops out to me, I just continue moving on. But this trip I ended up like actually looking through the stacks of books, and I found this book called Now a Major Motion Picture, and it looks cute. The cover is really cute, and I read the back and I thought it looked really cute. So basically we follow Iris, and Iris's grandmother is M.E. Thorne, who is the famous author of the Elementia series, which is hailed as the feminist response to J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. So it is being turned into a major motion picture, and her brother and Iris and her brother end up getting invited to, I believe it's Ireland, to the film set. And yeah, and then I believe there's a romance, but I can't remember if it's who is it with. I think, yeah, it's somebody with the cast. There ends up being a romance, and I just thought it would be a really cute romance about the granddaughter of an author, and it was $1. You can't really beat that. So the next book is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is about Chloe Brown. She almost dies, and then she comes up with this list of things that she wants to do, like a bucket list. So she ends up enlisting the help of Redford. Everybody calls him Red. And I believe he lives below her in her apartment building, or like is the not landlord. Is it landlord? I don't know. The person who like runs the apartment building for them. So I believe she ends up getting his help, and there's a romance, and yes. Okay, so the second to last romance / contemporary books that I got is, spoiler alert, by Olivia Dade. So this is an interesting concept. So first off, we have a plus size main character, which I absolutely love plus size main characters because plus size, or at least somewhat plus size. And this is basically a romance between a very famous actor and then a girl who I believe writes fan fiction. No, she's a cosplayer. That's what it is. She's a cosplayer, and she ends up posting one of her creations on Twitter, and her plus size take ends up going viral. And then Marcus, who is the actor, ends up asking her out to spite her internet critics, who, you know, basically are telling her horrible things because she's a plus size person in cosplay. And then it is their love story, and I am super excited to read this. The last book that I have as my like contemporary / romance books is Paper Princess by Erin Watt. I've been wanting to read this for so long. This has nothing to do with actual royalty. It is just a very wealthy family, and Ella Harper ends up being taken in by the like head of the household, I believe, and then she ends up living there, and then she ends up like falling in love with one of the brothers, and there's 5 brothers, and it's like a really weird. I heard somebody like compare this to like not trashy reality TV, because I don't think you're trashy if you watch reality TV, but just like drama filled reality TV show that like is addictive and you can't stop reading it or watching it. So I'm really excited to see how this goes and how I like it. There are like 5 books. I only bought the first one because if I don't like it, then I'm not gonna get the rest of them. So the next pile that I'm gonna do is comic books. So I ended up getting 3 comic books. Getting volume 4 and 5 of Saga. These are the next volumes that I needed to read, so I ended up getting them. This is a sci-fi, if you don't know, this is a sci-fi comic. And I got Locke and Key, Welcome to Lovecraft, the first volume. So Locke and Key, the TV show, to me has so much potential. It has so many things that me and my family and my mom really love. You know, it's like this gorgeous Victorian house, these weird ghost things, strange things happening in this house, the keys where you can get to the different doors, and like all the supernatural stuff, and there's so many things going for it. And me and my mom really want to rewatch it because we got to about episode 6. Granted, for most of the episodes we were doing my hair and stuff, so like we weren't entirely paying attention, but we kind of got bored. And it has been renewed for season 2 and 3, so I want to know why, like what's the hype, and I want to finish the seasons, so we're gonna rewatch it. But I also thought maybe because it has so much potential, maybe it's that the adaptation wasn't very good and that the actual comics would be better. It was really funny because the other day I had this on my bed and my mom walks in and she started flipping through and she was like, "Ooh, this is one that I would want to read." And I was like, okay, cool. Next pile that I have is graphic novels that I got, and we're gonna start with the one that I've already read, and that is Check Please by, oh gosh, how do I say her name? Ngozi Ukazu, I think is how you would say her name. But this was a really cute hockey LGBTQ baking story. I was a little hesitant going into it because there was a lot of hockey in it, but I ended up really liking the team and how they like interacted with each other. I ended up loving it. But yes. Then the next two that I ended up getting was, well, the first one was Teen Titans Beast Boy by Kemi Garcia, and I believe illustrated by Gabriel Piccolo. This is the second in the Teen Titans series. So I got Raven, and I really loved Raven, and I wanted to read the next one. This shall see if I like it, but I do love Raven and Beast Boy, so we shall see. One that I got was Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. I am going to wait till fall to read this, or at least like, you know, September or October on there, because it is about two people falling in love in a pumpkin patch. So yeah. Oh, look how cute. Hang on, let me see if I can. Struggling. Look how cute that is. So yes, I know that it's about two people falling in love and they work at a pumpkin patch, and it's a very fall book, and it's my favorite season, so I would love to have a book that I can read in fall. So yay. And then this is another one that I will probably wait till fall, or at least closer to fall, and it's my last one, and that is Seance Tea Party by Raymina Yi. Genuinely don't know what this is about, but I saw it. Where did I see it? I saw it on somebody's channel and they had hauled it, and I was like, oh, that's cool, sounds cool. I think it's about a girl who they do a seance and then the ghost ends up staying and like being the girl's friend. But this was super cute, and the cover looks really cute. Like, look at this cover. Isn't it so cute? It's so cute, and I just think this is gonna be a really cute story. So I got it. And on to the last pile of books, and these are all manga books that I got in. So this is the first one that I'm going to show you. I thought was manga, but I believe it's what they call a light novel, which is basically when it has an art, like pages of art in it in manga style, but it's mostly like a novelization, like there's full pages of words. And that is the Werewolf Count and the Trickster Tailor. I don't know what this is about. I saw the cover and I was like, that's a cute cover. I saw the cover of the second one, and this is where I got kind of confused because I thought it was a manga and I thought it was just 2 volumes of a manga, so I just got the first one just to like see if I liked it. But then it ends up being a novel thing, which is still cool, but not what I was expecting exactly. But like I said, it also, this is a paranormal romantic comedy about a young count who is apparently actually a werewolf. I'm really excited to read this, but like I said, I'm just going to include this first because it's technically a novel, but it also has manga in it, so a little strange, but I'm very excited to read this. So the first book that I got was Witch Hat Atelier 2. This is the second volume of the Witch Hat Atelier series. I read the first one and it was really cute. It's a really cute story about young witches slash sorcerers being trained. And yeah, and I'm very excited to read the second one because it left off on a cliffhanger. Next book is LDK. Okay, so this follows Aoi, and she's a high schooler and she lives by herself, and she ends up finding out that the most popular boy at her high school ends up living across from her, and something weird happens at her apartment and she ends up having to live with him, and it's their love story, and it just sounds like a recipe for like disaster, but also like fun and like strange stuff to happen. And yeah, then I have Golden Japanesque, Splendid Yokohama Romance by Kaho Miyasaka, and this is a historical romance manga, and yeah, so it's basically about a girl named Maria, and she doesn't like her appearance, but when she ends up meeting a boy named Ryutaru, he absolutely loves her. He thinks she's beautiful, and her like thought of her appearance changes, which is kind of a little toxic. However, we shall see. So then the next book that I have is Fairytail 100 Years Quest. So if you don't know, I am watching the Fairytail anime at the moment, and I really like it, and I know that the anime only follows the first 67, or like the first Fairytail volume sets, and this ends up after the volume sets and also after the anime. So I bought this one because when I finish the anime, not quite sure if I'm going to want to read all 67 volumes of the manga, but I will want to continue on. So this is the continuation. They end up taking 100 Years Quest, and it's how the story of how that goes. I got Snow White and the Red Hair, and honestly this just looked really cute. I absolutely love fairy tales and stuff, so a like fairy tale sort of retelling in a manga version about a girl who's Snow White but she has red hair sounds really interesting. Emily said that she had either, I think, watched the anime or read the manga, and she said it was really cute, so I'm really excited to read this. The Ancient Magnus Bride Volume 1, and I'm just gonna read the back because it says, enter the magician's apprentice. Her name is Chais Hattori, a penniless orphan troubled by visions, sold as a slave to an inhuman mage. She is about to begin a strange new life filled with magic, fairies, and other beings of a fantastical nature. So yeah, it just sounds like an interesting fantasy manga, and yes. And then the last manga that I got is a bit of a funny story, so I'm just going to show you first. So it is Maid Sama Volume 5 and 6, and these are the bind-ups. So my cousin Emily, so they ended up getting this for me, and they had ordered volumes 1 and 2, the bind-up, tried to order 3 and 4, couldn't find it, then ended up ordering 5 and 6, and they still have not received 1 and 2, so they gave me this one and then said the next one is coming, so just hang on, but it still hasn't come, and it's been like 2 weeks, so I'm not sure where that is, but they did end up getting me 5 and 6, and I'm very excited. I absolutely love the Maid Sama anime, and I thought that the anime, when the anime ended, that's how long the manga was, but then Emily, my cousin, ended up telling me that the manga actually extends past where the anime ends, and I'm so excited because the anime ends in a very abrupt fashion. Like it feels like it ends because characters finally end up together, but then I never get to see them be together at all. So I got really annoyed with that. So I'm very excited that this ends up extending past that. So yes. So those are all of the 40 plus books that I got in the month of May / sort of April. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I hope you are well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!